Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. A few days ago, I did a video on the Costa Rican Digital Nomad program and mentioned that one of the things that was particularly interesting about it is they were simply straightforwardly tax-free, at least on foreign income, for you. And a bunch of the digital nomad programs are not tax-free. Sometimes, you're tax-free for the first 6 months, and then you become tax resident, and something like Estonia, now you're taxable. So today I'm going to talk about another one that has a great favorable tax regime. Now this one has some drawbacks that you may not like. There's certain people who certainly are going to say absolutely no way. However, we will discuss it and go through some of the details because for the right people, it's pretty interesting. And this is the Maltese Digital Nomad Visa. So for people who have always wanted to go and to spend some time in the Mediterranean, maybe learn to sail, enjoy some great weather, you got a lot of days of sunshine in Malta, etc. Dive in, and we're going to cover this program. Before we do that, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the all notifications. If you'd like help getting residencies, citizenships, like passports, forming companies, opening bank accounts, doing asset protection, international tax optimization, if you want help on the strategy or the implementation side, happy to help you with all that. Please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosmer. There's a link in the description below, or send a message to our website, offshorecitizen.net or offshorecapitalist.com. Okay. So Malta is a place that among the low tax options in the EU, it's one of them often. And so it's one that people frequently look at compared to, Portugal, compared to Italy, compared to Greece, compared to Cyprus, compared to Bulgaria, compared to Montenegro, not EU, but at least Europe. So, some of these options, all right? Now, I've had a number of people over the years who I've known who have moved to Malta. Very few people have stayed in Malta. So this is something to be aware of. The livability obviously has something that's off on it. Now, it wasn't by accident that I mentioned in the introduction about sailing. I have a very good friend, investor, who moved to Malta, and he comments that you discover sailing and it's really quite a wonderful place to be. Otherwise, you'll probably be bored out of your mind. So, depending on how long you want to spend there, this may or may not be for you. However, Malta is, like I said, great weather. You're certainly able to then, explore much of the rest of Europe from there. Very well located geographically, and some beautiful architecture, etc. So lots of reasons to go and spend a year, maybe 2 years, part of the year, something like that. And it just so happens that they've introduced a digital nomad visa. So how does this work? Well, pretty much as with all digital nomad visas, the criteria is that you cannot work locally. So you have to work for either a foreign employer, you have to be a freelancer with foreign clients with contracts, or you need to have a foreign registered company. Okay, so those tend to be the criteria for qualifying. You usually have to have a minimum income threshold. In this particular case, it's 2,700 euros per month. Okay. You have to secure your own health insurance. You're not going to be able to take advantage of theirs. Now, one drawback for certain people with respect to Malta is you must be fully vaccinated. That's one of their kind of less publicized criteria, and that may turn it off and make it a no-go for a bunch of people. That being said, that's one of their criteria, so you can take it or leave it. It is a one-year visa. It is renewable. Now, the interesting thing is often digital nomad visas are renewable, not at all, or only renewable once. What they're saying at this point in time is it's renewable for as long as you meet the criteria. So that potentially makes it almost a long stay visa, right? And then the other thing about it that makes it really interesting is in addition to being a year-long visa, et cetera, obviously this means it doesn't lead, or maybe it isn't so obvious, it doesn't lead to citizenship or permanent residency. In spite of that, you do get favorable tax treatment. They essentially don't tax you on any foreign income. So that's also pretty useful for people who want to be able to go and camp out for, a year or two, use that as their base, maybe explore Europe, right? You could go and see portions of the EU, take a jaunt down to various parts of Africa, see things in, that whole area, which can be really nice to explore. And, it deserves a lot of time while basing yourself out of Malta for a year or two. You do need to have a long-term lease there. You don't need to get that before getting the approval, so you can get the approval and then get it. Same thing with the health insurance. So those are all useful. They're saying it's 30 days to get approval approximately. In my experience, Malta is pretty bureaucratic and slow, so I'd expect a few more delays than that. Relatively inexpensive program, so that's good. In addition to some legal help, etc., the government fees are about 300 euros. And so, yeah, might be useful for the right people. So I hope that helps. Gives you an idea. It's certainly getting easier and easier. There's lots of digital nomad visas, so you can bounce around the world year after year, exploring different areas on a digital nomad visa. And, for the right people, I think it's a great option. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. Would love to hear your feedback. Would love to hear if there's particular programs that really stand out to you. And follow me on Twitter @Michael Rosmer. I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.